All African presidents are in Ghana in support of John Mahama during his inauguration today in Ghana. Even the almighty Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso is right here in Ghana to support his dear beloved friend John Mahama. Let's hear and see what went down during the inauguration here in Ghana and John Mahama's powerful speech during the inauguration here in Ghana. Please don't forget to like this video, share and comment.
See the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Her Ladyship the Chief Justice, Your Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Ghana, and special guest of honor for this occasion, Your Excellencies, Presidents, Heads of Government and Development Agencies, Your Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and former President, Your Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters. I wish you a good morning, and we give thanks to the Almighty God on this occasion. Our Father who art in heaven, we thank you for giving us this day, a day that offers me, your humble servant, a unique opportunity to work to reset our dear country, Ghana. 32 years ago, on January 7th, Ghana made its first and most successful democratic transition, a reset, with the swearing in of the newly democratically elected President, Ghana&John Rawlings of Blessed. Our nation was returned to a multi-party democracy with a new constitution that went into effect, and the Fourth Republic was officially established. I refer to it as a reset because on that day in 1993, we made our fourth attempt at establishing a democratic system of government with term limits based on free, fair, and transparent elections. The handover of power on January 7, 2001, between former President Jerry John Rawlings and at the time the newly elected President John Adjekun Kufuor, tested that reset, and our nation passed with flying colors. So today, with my induction as the new President of the Republic of Ghana, history is being made once again, and it is a history worth repeating every 4 years with each newly elected President. Today, we're also making a different kind of history, one that speaks to our maturity as a democracy, a nation of citizens enfranchised with the authority at the polls to determine their political future. Today's exercise between the outgoing President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and I feels a bit like a deja vu. That is because 8 years ago to this day, on January 7, 2017, we shared this same space and performed this same transitional exercise. At the time, I was the outgoing President, having served one term, and he was the incoming President, having been given a mandate by the people of Ghana to lead this great nation of us. He and I both understood on that day, as I'm sure we are today, that it is the people of Ghana. Somehow, it seems fitting that it is with Nana Akufo-Addo that I twice shared this stage and this unique historical distinction. Because Nana Akufo-Addo and I began our national political careers in Parliament in the same year, 1996. He has always greeted me with warmth, a firm handshake and a smile. And he is perhaps the only person in my life who has persistently chosen to call me Johnny. While we belong to opposing political parties, we shared a sense of mutual respect. In those early days, we probably could not have imagined that destiny would bring us to the leadership of our respective parties, and that we would have to face off 3 separate times as we each vied for the highest office of the land. Nana asked this to be our final meeting under these circumstances. And as I look back on the journey we have traveled together, 2 much younger men who entered Parliament together with a full head of black hair, and you with the same bald head and round eyeglasses, I have to say that you have, without exception, been a worthy opponent. I extend my warmest wishes to His Excellency, the former Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. It was a grueling campaign, and we gave it our all. Your sportsmanship in making an early concession eased tensions and contributed to the early conclusion of the electoral contest. I wish you all the best in your endeavors. My brothers and sisters, the world in which Ghana exists today, as I begin this presidency, is not the same world in which we have lived under other presidencies. There are tensions and conflicts that have not previously existed between nations. These tensions and conflicts place pressure on alliances to decide where we will support. There's a seismic shift happening within the system of global economic dominance. Whereas the G7 nations, United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan, once provided the highest percentage of the world's GDP, over the last decade, that number has been steadily dropping. However, the combined total of the GDP of the BRIC nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, UAE, their GDP has been consistently increasing. In 2023, for instance, the G7's combined total of world GDP was 30%, but by 2024, 7.3%. And so what does this mean to us in Ghana? What could it mean to our economy? Weighing up the potential for national, financial, and personal security issues that we are not yet able to imagine. One example is the use of misinformation and algorithm manipulations on social media platforms to sway a particular group's sentiment towards or away from something. Now more than ever before, we need to strengthen our ties with our neighbors to ensure that we're working together to keep our sub-region safe. We stand in solidarity and work in alliance with all our neighbors in the sub-region. Recognizing the history of our borders, we also acknowledge that on the other side of, there may be Burkinabes, there may be Nigerians or Malians, but there are also Akans, there are Kasinas, there are Gwans, there are Ewes, there are Nzemes, there are Hauses, there are Moshis and Gurmes, because we are all part of one another, one big family. With the increase of the climate crisis, and as the waters grow warmer, melting the Arctic ice and permafrost, there's a greater likelihood for viruses that have been frozen and thought to be extinct for decades, perhaps even centuries, to begin to spread and create another global pandemic. The changing climate conditions, increased population density in urban areas, and mass international travel are enabling existing viruses to spread and mutate at a faster and faster rate than they did before. This is a serious challenge. Let us not forget the toll that the past epidemics of viruses like Ebola, COVID, and Mpox have taken on the families and communities and medical infrastructure in several of our neighboring countries and in the sub-region. Let us also not forget how swiftly and completely the COVID pandemic brought the entire world to a screeching halt. My government will be working diligently to strengthen our public health systems while monitoring the global health situation so that when, and not if, but when the next pandemic or epidemic occurs, the loss of lives in Ghana will be minimal. The larger world exists around us and to some extent within us. While we cannot and should never use it as an excuse to stray from the direct and immediate needs of Ghana for the well-being of our citizens, we must also bear in mind that the affairs of the world, if we care to shape, lessen, avoid, or even at the other end of things, maximize the effect they have on us. My brothers and sisters, barely a month ago, we held historic elections that have caused dramatic shifts in our political landscape. I feel greatly honored that you, my compatriots, considered me worthy of receiving such an unprecedented and overwhelming mandate to steer the affairs of our beloved nation at this critical time in our history. The magnitude of this victory in the presidential elections and the gains that were made by my party, the National Democratic Congress, in the parliamentary elections naturally and justifiably resulted in great joy and celebration across our country, Ghana. But celebrations, no matter how justified and how well earned, must be supplanted by discernment, sobriety, and deeper insights into why we received this kind of mandate in the first place. December 7th, the Ghanaian people conveyed a powerful
His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traore. Honorable members, the full meaning of Burkina Faso means strong men and women of integrity. We have His Excellency Brigadier General Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, the President of the Republic of Gabon. After him, we have His Excellency Mamadi Doumbouya, who is the President. Members, the full meaning of Burkina Faso means strong men and women.